World War II was one of the most significant and devastating conflicts in human history. It shaped the world as we know it today. But what if history took a different path? What if the Axis powers, Nazi Germany, Imperial Japan, and Fascist Italy, had won the war? How would the world look today? Let's dive into this alternate reality and explore a world where the Axis powers emerged victorious. Let's begin with Europe. With a Nazi victory, the continent would have been transformed into Hitler's vision of a new order. Germany would have expanded its borders, creating a vast empire stretching from the Atlantic Ocean to the Ural Mountains. The Nazi regime's brutal policies of racial purity and Aryan supremacy would have reshaped the population of Europe. Millions of people, particularly those deemed undesirable by the Nazis, would have faced persecution, forced labor, and even extermination. The Holocaust, a horrifying reality in our history, could have been even more extensive in this alternate timeline. What about the United Kingdom? If the Nazis had succeeded in their plans, the UK might have been forced into a humiliating peace treaty or even occupied. British culture and institutions would have been systematically dismantled, replaced with pro-German puppet governments and Nazi ideology. Meanwhile, in Asia, Imperial Japan would have solidified its dominance. The Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere, a concept pushed by Japan during the war, would have become a harsh reality. Nations like China, Korea, and Southeast Asia would have been forced into servitude, supplying Japan with resources and labor. But what about the United States? The US might have faced a far different future in this alternate timeline. With Europe and Asia dominated by the Axis, America could have entered a long and grueling Cold War, not with the Soviet Union, but with a Nazi-led Europe and a Japanese empire. The world would have been divided into two major power blocks, the Axis powers and the Allies, now consisting of the US, Canada, and a few remaining free nations. The threat of nuclear war would have hung over the world, with both sides racing to develop weapons of mass destruction. Life for the average person in this alternate world would have been starkly different. Propaganda would be pervasive, with children indoctrinated in schools and the media controlled by the state. Freedom of speech, thought, and religion would be heavily restricted. Technological progress could have been hindered by the rigid control of the state, with scientific research directed primarily towards military applications. Cultural diversity would have been suppressed, with art, literature, and music reflecting the ideologies of the ruling powers. A world where the Axis powers won World War II would have been a dark and oppressive place, defined by authoritarianism, fear, and division. However, this alternate history serves as a reminder of the fragility of freedom and the importance of standing against tyranny. So, what do you think? How would our world be different if the Axis powers had won? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more intriguing alternate history scenarios. Thanks for joining us on this journey through an alternate history. If you enjoyed this exploration, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode.